this is Dylan Senior 13 back with another video. This is showing you around my solar backup power, or backup solar power. So I'll show you inside quickly. So basically the solar power, solar panels which are on the roof, come down through that wire there. They work out about 300 watts altogether. I've got 4 up there altogether. So yeah, the solar power comes down here. That's the main switch for the solar panels there, 20 amp switch, because I put a 10 amp switch in before and that burnt out straight away. So yeah, then after that the solar panel wires go down there through this screen there, which shows you the volts and the amps that it's producing. It's only producing 0.5 amps at the moment because it's cloudy and it's quite late at night, so the sun's pretty much gone down. And they are quite good solar panels, so they're very efficient. They work very good in low light as well. Yeah. So after that, going up into here, which is a solar charger controller, which it works out. I think it's 30 amps. So I thought I'd get 30 amps so it didn't burn out, just in case it did reach over the top. And yeah, basically it goes through there, the solar panel goes into there, and then the batteries connect to there. The battery goes all the way down through that tube, and the batteries are in that big box there. There's 2 car batteries in there, which work out about 80 amp hour, which is a lot. So once it's charged so basically when it's sunny, as you can see, it's charging the batteries now. As you can see with the solar power, if I turn the switch off for the solar panels, it stops charging and the arrow goes. So I turn that on, it's charging the battery again. So that's charging the battery, and it's 28.8 volts at the moment because I have been using it quite a lot. But that's quite charged at the moment. And then the one after that, that's the output. So that goes to this big 4000 watt inverter there, and also it goes to these cigarette lighters there, and goes through this 10 amp breaker, because I don't want it to be drawing any more than 10 amps really. It can take about 20 amps input and 4000 watt output, but I don't want it to draw that much from the current. I don't want it to draw that much from the batteries because they won't last as long. Yeah, so this has got all the settings on. So it's got the fully charged battery, or float mode for the battery. It has the when it kicks back in, when it's gone to low voltage, and after that it's the low voltage protection. So if it goes lower than that, it cuts off from this panel timer, and you can change the battery. So that's that. There's another circuit breaker there, which goes from the battery straight into this panel. So if anything happens in that board, that'll protect it. That's 15 amps, because it charges it fast as well. So after this, there's a fan there that's cooling it down constantly when that breaker's on. So if I turn that breaker off, everything will turn off, the inverter and the 2 plugs at the side. So that's the inverter. And then there's the plug that goes down, wired it all up in there, right next to the other one. 3D printed this PVC tubing because I didn't have any, so 3D printed their brackets and all that. So it goes into here, yeah, where the batteries are. So yeah, these 2 plugs are live at the moment, so I can plug something in there and it'll start charging it, or it can draw about 2000 watts constantly, 4000 watt peak. So yeah, that's the board. I'll just show you quickly when it can power stuff. So I'll show you this 12 volt lamp. I'll just plug this into the 12 volt sides, quite old. So then that switch there, that's just the 12 volt output. So yeah, that can power that. So that powers that, and if it exceeds more than 10 amps, so that breaker will flick there. So that's the 12 volt one, and the next switch next to it is the inverter as well. That turns the inverter on and off also, so you can do it when the door's shut without opening it. Yeah, I'll show you something. I'll show you it powering. I'll show you it charging my go-kart. Sorry. The voltage drops a little bit because it's charging quite a lot of batteries. That's it, charging my go-kart. If you haven't seen this go-kart, look on my channel, and yeah, it's an electric go-kart. So yeah, that's it, charging 1240 volt appliances and 12 volt appliances. So I'll just quickly show you this as well. So this is, I don't recommend doing this if you do make one of these. This basically can feed power back into our house, but you need to do a lot of you need to be careful when you're doing this if you are going to do this. So at the moment I've turned the garage breaker off. I did my research before doing all this. So basically you need to turn your garage breaker off if you just want to power the garage. So at the moment, so that'll be feeding from there, from the inverter, from the plug now. I'll shut this. Oh, and by the way, these two lights, that one tells me if I've got solar power, and this is on check if the breaker's gone or not. So that's basically 200 volt. That's all the plug's output. So now if I turn the light switch on, it will power the fluorescent tube up there. So now it's off solar power entirely. So if I plug something else in there, it can power off there straight away. And so yeah, and also if I turn the main house breaker off, when I do this, if I turn the main house breaker off and all the this is how you do it. So turn all the breakers off in the house, and then you turn even the main switch, and then you turn just the garage on, because this is feeding it into the garage. So you leave the garage breaker on, and then you turn whatever you want to power on. So if you want to power all the lights, you turn the lights on and the garage. Make sure the house breaker's off again, because you don't want it to blow your inverter. So then it'll feed back into the house and power all your lights for you. And I worked out that these batteries at night time, when we have a power cut, it can power the house for up to 15 hours, which is no power cuts ever lasted that long up here. So yeah, it powers it for longer than it really needs to, and it can power everything in the house apart from any big appliances like the dryer, the iron or the cooker. So it can power all the lights, all the TVs, and it's got USB ports at the side, so it can power everything pretty much, just not any big appliances. 240 volts. So I'll just quickly show you the solar panels. But yeah, that's the setup that I have so far. And when I shut the door, there's a lock there so no one can injure themselves inside. That padlock goes on there, which I made them brackets myself. So I'll just quickly show you the solar panels on the roof. So these are the panels on the roof. There's two 50-watt panels, and this is 20 watts and that's 10 watts. So it works out quite high power, but they do go higher than that. That's what they're rated at, and they all produce about 300 watts of power. They can all produce about 300 watts of power. Yeah, that's it for this video. So if you like this video, please subscribe, leave a like and comment what you think I should do next. Thank you for watching.